Hello, my name is Fran Crumley. I am the Senior Health Walk Coordinator for the Walk in the Park project, which is run by Loch Lomond and the Trossachs Countryside Trust. Walk in the Park delivers and develops a series of health walks, activities, projects and partnerships which support the health and well-being of communities in the National Park. In usual circumstances, we run weekly walks in Arica, Balloch, Drummond, Aberfoyle, Callander and Cullen. Through these pandemic times, we continue to support and motivate our walkers through online walks from home, virtual meetings and phone catch-ups. We've recently introduced a new programme which is called In Step with Nature to inspire our groups to get out and about, to connect with the nature around them and take a few more steps every day.
Hi, I'm Leslie Ballage. I'm part of the Bridge Community Project, which is a charity based in West Lothian. Our charity seeks to improve the everyday well-being of the people of West Lothian. We do this through emotional support by offering affordable counselling sessions. We also offer education and group work sessions through our Stepping Stones to Wellbeing project. And lastly, we have our financial wellbeing service, which I am part of, which is basically a money advice service with some extra support added in.
Hi, my name is Heather Thorpe and I'm the volunteer coordinator at the Phoenix Community Centre in Dumbarton West. The decision was taken to reopen that centre in 2018 by Rock Community Church after it had lain shut for many years, and we run it on an asset-based community development model. So volunteers are the heart of what we do, and I help to train and recruit, to supervise and support these volunteers.
The funding provided by Impact Funding Partners has made a huge difference to my role. Before the funds, I found it difficult to balance my client support work with my volunteer management role. There just wasn't enough hours in the day. Since I've had the funding, my hours have increased and that has made a huge difference. I can now spend time strategically thinking about volunteer recruitment and volunteer management. I can spend time with each individual volunteer and think about what support they need, how they need the volunteer role to be so that they can gain the experience that they want to reach a positive destination. That has made a huge difference both to me but also to the volunteers. The work that they are doing is fantastic. They really have grasped the ethos of the Bridge and they really are fully inclusive, take care of each other. I think it has fostered a feeling that we all need to look after each other, and that is the biggest difference that the funding has made to us. We all care for each other now because we have enough time to do that. So thank you.
So the biggest thing that the funding has allowed us to do is actually to reopen the Phoenix as a community centre for Dumbarton West in an area where there aren't really that many resources of that kind. So that's been fantastic, and volunteers have been a crucial part of that process. We could not have done any of this without them. And so from the consultation process to renovating the building, where they put in massive hours and effort to get the building up to scratch, to helping us now run a full and varied weekly programme of activities for all generations. So we have a volunteering process where we offer regular training. They get support and supervision meetings, they get an annual review, all just to help make sure that they're getting the best out of the experience. We put a lot of effort into upskilling, and we've managed to get some people from that volunteering process into paid employment, so 2 in our cafe and 1 as a project worker, which has been amazing.
Volunteers are crucial to the success of Walk in the Park, and without them we would not be able to run our programme. We provide training and ongoing support for our volunteers. This suite of training begins with the Volunteer Walk Leader course, and then can lead volunteers on to train as dementia-friendly walk leaders, demonstrate strength and balance activities within our groups and communities across the National Park. As interest and demand for walking from both individuals and health and social care providers continues to grow, it is vital that we continue to support and grow our volunteer base. The funding from impact funding partners has enabled Walk in the Park to increase the diversity of our volunteers by creating new opportunities for people who experience disadvantage. The funding has provided the opportunity for Walk in the Park to tackle issues of rural isolation within older adults by widening access and hosting our suite of volunteer training opportunities in more widespread locations across the national park. What has been fundamental during this period of funding is the development of a new partnership with the Job Centre Plus Department for Work and Pensions, with the focus to recruit and support local residents who experience disadvantage, particularly as a result of low income following being made redundant, and provide volunteering opportunities through our Walking for Health programme. We were also able to open and provide volunteering opportunities to those individuals who would experience multiple areas of disadvantage, either through ill health or long-term conditions. This was achieved by the clear identification of the volunteer pathway for the Job Centre client groups, from initially establishing the personal health and wellbeing benefits from attending a health walk as a walker, which involved hosting work coaches and client groups within our ballot walk, to then providing individuals with the opportunity to attend the volunteer walk leader course and become part of our team of volunteering, supporting health walks in communities across the national park.
So the impact this has had on the experience of volunteers has been huge. The role of the volunteer coordinator has allowed us to recruit 40 active regular volunteers, and actually we have over 100 names in total, some of whom may have just contributed one-off their time and energy to something like a gala day, which helps to celebrate the community and the assets in it, which is amazing. We have, for example, 2 hairdressers who came and offered to volunteer time giving back to school haircuts, which we've done twice now since 2018. And we have 1 volunteer who came to us not really knowing how to cook at all, but wanting to learn, and they've just so thrown themselves into it that they've now upskilled to the point that we can leave them in charge of running the community cafe and know that we're producing amazing quality food for the local area. Sometimes people come and they want to get experience for a CV, or just to get out of the house and have a purpose. So there's a variety of different impacts that we get feedback on, which is really encouraging.
Walk in the Park has a continued commitment to offer a varied programme of training opportunities for our volunteers. The impact of the funding provided us with the resources to enhance our volunteer experience with Walk in the Park and add a new element into our suite of training. This new opportunity was we were able to host a training course entitled Engaging with Seldom Heard Voices for volunteers, and was led by the Scottish Refugee Council. The focus of the training was how to engage with hard to reach or hidden groups and how we can connect with them.
Now that I have had time to improve my skills as a volunteer manager, I would say the volunteer experience has greatly improved. I now have a system that I fully understand and where I can support our volunteers much better than I did at the beginning. That gift of time, as I said, has made a tremendous difference. Our volunteers have really gelled as a team. We now have time to do team building and team training and team events where they grow together and support each other. They've fully embraced the ethos of the bridge of that inclusivity and kindness and just being together. I think everybody in the team has learned to support each other, whether they're a volunteer or whether they're a member of staff. The volunteers really give more than we would ever ask them to do. The standard of care they give to our clients is incredible. And I think a lot of that is because they feel invested. They don't feel that they've just come to volunteer with the bridge. I think now they really do feel that they are the bridge, which they really are. I try hard not to see it as a negative when a volunteer moves on, because in actual fact it's a very positive thing. It means that they have gained the skills that they came here to get, so that they could move on to a positive destination. In the early days I didn't think like that, but now I have managed to be in a place where it is a good thing when volunteers move on, and that inspires me then to ensure that the volunteer is getting the best experience they can. And I think that shows in the testimonies that they give when they say that they have really enjoyed their time with us and that they find it inspirational being here.
Developing the platform to increase the diversity of our volunteers has provided the opportunities for more individuals across the National Park to build a sense of involvement and inclusion within their communities. All of our volunteers complete the Volunteer Walk Leader training course, form part of Walk in the Park team, and go on to support our Health Walk programme in their own communities across the National Park. Through our volunteer buddy system, each individual is supported in their role. We have been able to build a varied group of volunteers which are a reflection of the communities in which we operate. The increase of our volunteer base allows Walk in the Park to provide a greater number of opportunities for people to participate in a health walk in a safe, local and supported walking environment. The partnership we have been able to develop with the Job Centre has allowed volunteers to experience a positive pathway which has had a huge impact in all areas of their lives, from developing social and communication skills, building self-confidence, developing a greater sense of well-being, seeking local employment, to developing a sense of pride and connection to their local communities. Through our volunteer pathway and partnership with the Job Centre, we have been able to support our volunteers secure employment in their local communities. Going forward, we are really keen to continue to build on existing and develop new pathways for volunteers to be actively involved in Walk in the Park.
Well, I can tell you that last year we managed the total of £665,000 worth of debt. £136,000 worth of that was priority debts. The average household that we worked with had £13,000 worth of debt, and we carried out 195 bridge support interventions. That is quite phenomenal. Our clients are the type of people who are very vulnerable, and our volunteers embrace that kind ethos and really take care of their clients. It's really, really important to them that their clients get the best experience that they possibly can. Without our volunteers, we wouldn't have did half the work that we managed last year. So that means that half of all those figures I've just told you were related to our volunteers. We have around 40 clients, that's 40 households or 40 families that we work with. So just imagine we would have only been able to work with around 20 without our volunteers. They make such a difference to our community. The volunteers, the clients that our volunteers work with are people who are particularly vulnerable, who have a variety of mental health issues, mostly related to stress and anxiety. They need that little bit of extra support, and because of the volunteers we're able to do that. Our clients are the type of people who find it very difficult to engage with mainstream services. Our volunteers make it possible for those clients who would not be able to engage and to feel cared for, but not made to feel cared for as if they were a child, but actually feel cared for as an adult, empowered to take control of their finances, empowered to take control of their lives. Our volunteers make such a difference. It's not unusual for our clients to say things such as, I don't know what I would have done without you. That's a common thing for us to hear. Our volunteers make that possible. They make it possible for the bridge to make a huge impact within our community. And I would like to thank you for the funding that has made this possible.
So the impact that the funding for volunteers has helped us make on our local community has been huge. We simply wouldn't be able to do all the activities that we do at the Phoenix without them, and so it wouldn't really exist in Dumbarton West in that way, which would be a huge loss. So particularly when you think that before lockdown we were counting an average monthly footfall of 1100, and we were providing kids and youth work to 150 children every week. So we have now had to move quite a lot of our activities online, but we've still been using volunteers to, for example, help provide free lunches to school-age children in the holidays. We've been providing free back-to-school haircuts the last 2 summer holidays. We've been providing free art packs and wellbeing packs to local families who are stuck inside. And volunteers have helped us to do all that. We've also, when we've been allowed to, been running our community cafe with our volunteers who have helped us to combat isolation, promote wellbeing and good mental health. And all of that is possible because of the funding, so thank you.